is going on, YouTube familia? Welcome back to the channel. I am Anna, and oh yes, I am back for another memory plan with me, and we are talking Bridgerton. We are talking Bridgerton, familia. That's right. That is right. I am using this stunning rose gold foil Bridgerton kit from Two Lil Bees. This, I believe the name of this kit is the Daphne kit. It's been around. I'm sure you guys have seen it, and it was only a matter of time because y'all know that I, like everyone else in the history of the world, apparently was obsessed with Bridgerton as well. And yeah, so I am going to be doing a Bridgerton tag that I created. I just literally made up some questions, called it a Bridgerton tag. That's what I'm going to advertise it as. And I hope that it is something that other planners hop on, because I know a lot of the planning community has also been obsessed with Bridgerton, like the rest of the world. So I am going to go ahead and answer some fun questions about Bridgerton, but for now, I wanted to start with kind of talking to you guys about how I got into Bridgerton. So, fun fact, I was actually told by a good friend of mine about it, and she was like telling me about it, but it wasn't really like registering. I was just like, oh, okay, like it might be okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. Which I've said before to several things that I ultimately do not check out. Comment down below if you are the same way, because the list is too long of the things that I need to check out. But anyways, she told me about it and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. And then I remember, this wasn't until after I actually watched it, but I remember seeing, so here on YouTube, Netflix will do like promos of what's coming out, like what's coming out for March or what's coming out for February or whatever. And I remember, I think in December, I saw a preview with Bridgerton in it. And I remember seeing the little like trailer or preview and saying, oh, I think I want to watch that. That looks kind of good, actually. Like, I actually wanted to watch this. And then it blew up. And I was like, maybe I don't want to watch this. Maybe I don't want to watch this. But then a lot of planners were talking about it. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to cave and I'm going to watch it. So I started it. And you guys, I was convinced after that I would not like it. This is how I am, you guys. I was convinced after that I would not like it. So I was watching the first episode and I'm like, there is no way I'm going to like this. Like, as it's starting, I'm like, nope, there's just no freaking way that I'm going to like this. And then towards the end, pretty much like right before the first episode ended, I was like, oh my God, I need to watch the next episode right now. Like, hooked on the first episode. It's crazy. So then of course I pretty much binge watched the whole thing in like 2 days, because when I first started watching it, it was like later at night. I think I started watching it like 8 or 9, and each episode is like an hour-ish. So at one point, I don't even remember how late I stayed up, probably till like 1 or 2 in the morning. I was like, all right, I need to just save the rest of this for tomorrow because I'm not strong enough to handle all of this. So I did. And I think it was after episode 5. I mean, we all know episode 5 was a lot to handle. Like, they didn't have to hit us like that. I'm just throwing it out there. And for those of you who haven't watched Bridgerton but plan to, do not watch it with your children. If you have kids or little ones, this is not a show you want to watch with them. I just thought I would put that out there. But anyways, that's how I got into Bridgerton. So let's get into these questions, you guys. Really quick on the stickers. I did pull in some scripts and stuff from Ruby J Designs, from Letters to Apollo, and I think that's it. But as always, if you guys have questions on any of the stickers that I use, be sure to let me know down below in the comments. I'm really good about getting back to you guys when you comment, so make sure you let me know down below. Okay, let's get started. Okay, you guys, so there's one other thing I feel like I was going to tell you that I can't remember. I'm sure it'll come back to me. But anyways, question number 1. That's what I was going to tell you. All the questions will be listed down below in the description box in case you guys want to do the Bridgerton tag. If you got a Bridgerton kit recently, since I know they have been going around the shops, making the rounds. So if you guys want to hop on the tag, all the questions will be down below. And make sure you tag me over on Instagram at Cafe with Anna. So I can see your video, so I can see your tag, because why wouldn't I? So make sure you tag me over on Instagram, and if you're not following your girl over on Instagram, you should. You're missing out. I'm a lot of fun. All right, now for real, let's get started. So question number 1 is, who is your favorite Bridgerton character and why? Oh man. I mean, is it too obvious if I say the Duke? Simon Bassett? Too obvious? Because he's like fine. Like, there's like fine, and he's like fine. Y'all know what I mean? So, like, is it too obvious if I go with him? I'm just going to stick to him, because I'm sure I'll have more of like deep, thoughtful answers in other questions. I just have to do it. He's just so dang pretty. He's so dang pretty. And I mean, I appreciate that he also doesn't have the perfect life as one of the protagonists. I just appreciate that too, especially in a show that's so rooted in society and holding up certain societal standards, and reputation is really important. I think it's kind of cool to see his demons, per se, if that makes sense. So that's one, but like, he's like beautiful. Okay, I'm done now. I'll wipe off the drool later. Next. Who is your least favorite character and why? This is harder because I have a few favorites. But least favorites? I think my least favorite was Anthony for a while. It wasn't until later on in the series that I started to like him a little more, and I better get used to him because I hear he's probably going to be more so the protagonist in the next season. I don't know that for sure, but that's the hearsay. But I think he was my least favorite just because he was just ruining everything all the time. I'm like, God, just let Daphne be. So probably Anthony was my least favorite. Okay, next question. Actually, I already answered this one. I didn't realize I wrote it down as a question. Look how this goes when you create your own tags. The next question was, how did you find out about Bridgerton? So technically I found out first from the preview I watched, and then I heard about it again through a friend, and then the whole world basically all informed me about it a third time. So everybody and their mama told me about it. Number 4 is, who do you relate to the most on the show? So this one was harder for me because there are 2 that I feel like I relate to the most, but I think one of my favorite characters who I don't mention is Eloise. And I just love her like strong stance with feminism, and I was worried. One of the reasons that I thought I wouldn't like the show once I started watching it, not once I heard everyone loved it, because that's just me being a rebel. Once I started watching it, like the first episode, I was like, this is gonna annoy me. Like, this is gonna be too set in that time frame, and too like, women are just there to be, which there's still a lot of that in the show, of course, but women are just there to be to live up to, I feel like, the standards of men. I mean, they're supposed to grow up, and then they have their, what do they call it? Like their, they had a name for it in the show. Their like opening season where they court to get married. And then once they're married, they just have kids. Like, that's it. They're wives and mothers, and they don't have the option to be anything else. And I love that for the time frame, I feel like a person like Eloise is so much more of a standout than she would be now. Like, now I feel like there's there's more accepting rules, like way more accepting rules, obviously, around that, or accepting, society is more accepting of those things. Those things are expected a little more now. Not to say we're not still fighting some of those old patterns or old traditions or beliefs or whatever, but obviously we're living in a world that's a little more accepting of that at this point, especially compared to when this show takes place. So I feel like putting a character in there during that time is brave. I feel like it's brave. And it speaks to the fact that there probably were women during that time that were like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to just live my life to find a husband. Like, screw that. I want to actually do what I want. I want to do things for myself, to find things I enjoy. But I don't want my sole purpose to be to find a husband and have kids. So I related a lot to that, and I loved how outspoken she was about that. I know that she probably annoyed other people in ways, but I thought she was amazing. So yeah. And also how she protects, at least initially, she protects Lady Whistledown, who everyone's trying to take down. God, if you guys haven't seen this, I'm giving you spoilers. So you should leave if you don't want spoilers. Or mute the video. I'm sorry. I did not give you a spoiler warning. There may be some spoilers. Especially how she protects Lady Whistledown, I feel like, when people are trying to figure out who she is and take her down, like when the Queen's trying to figure out who she is and take her down because of what she's writing, she's like, well, I don't want her, I think in her action, she's like, well, I don't really want her to lose those freedoms to do what she's doing. So anyways, Eloise is my fave. That was mad long, but that's my answer. Hopefully that made sense and I'm not just rambling on and on. Next question, who do you relate to the most in the show? Who do I relate to the most in the show? I feel like I probably, oddly enough, at least when I was that age, related to Penelope the most, which is really interesting. But at that age, like, I think she's in her teens, I think, at that point, right? Teens? I'm thinking teens for Penelope. Let me know if she's not in her teens. But obviously she has this love for her Daphne's brother's name, Colin. I believe his name is Colin in the show, and she never says anything about it. And she tries to, and that's very much me. Like, all of my teenage years, that was 100% me. I am not good at those things at all. Like, not even a little bit. So I feel like I related to her the most in that, but also in how she supports the cousin. Who is the cousin? Hang on, I have names up because I knew I wasn't gonna remember everything. Was it Marina Thompson? I mean, I should say she supports the cousin up until the cousin starts to like her man, which, you know, sis was like, you know, I like you, but back up. But I love that she supported her, you know, prior to that happening, when pretty much everyone in the family didn't. I mean, her mom definitely didn't support Marina, the cousin that came. And she's the only one that really did. She became, I think, one of her best friends. And I loved that. I love that. I think it just tells you a lot about who she is, which is why I feel like I can relate to her in that way. So Penelope, cool. She cool. And we can talk about that last scene of that last episode. We could talk about it. Hopefully I have time to talk about it. All right, next question. I don't even know how many more questions I have. I doubt I'm getting through this whole thing. Have you read the books? Oh, so for those of you who don't know, this is a book series apparently, and it has several books from what I hear. I have never read nor heard of the books until after I watched the series. So if you read the books, let me know down below. But I had never heard of them prior to the show. So next question, can you imagine living in the time period that Bridgerton takes place in? No, I think I would cry. Not just because of those absurd things they have to wear where they can't even freaking breathe, but also because of all the societal standards put on women in particular. Yeah, no, hell no. Hell no, I'm good. Okay, so we have a little bit of time left. Let's just circle back really quick to that last scene in the last episode of Penelope as they talk about Lady Whistledown. You guys, I don't think it's her. Let me know down below in the comments if you think that Penelope is Lady Whistledown. I don't think it's her. I think that they just were trying to frame you with a nice little cliffhanger, you know, get you excited for season 2, get you hype. But I don't think it's her. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, no, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because Lady Whistledown dragged her family and she had to deal with that. Like, it wasn't even just like her family had to deal with it. She had to deal with it. And why would she want to deal with that? I feel like she wouldn't, even if she wants to get back at her family for some weird reason. Right? I don't know. Let me know your theories down below on that because, like, I was like, you know, the big gasp and everything. Anyways. Anyways, you guys, those are my 2 cents. Let me know what you think down below. But that's it, you guys. That was my little Bridgerton tag. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had fun. Again, if you want to hop on the Bridgerton tag, I will have the questions down below in the description box. Make sure that you tag me over on Instagram so I can check out your video if you're a content creator. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, y'all. I had so much fun. I was like trying to figure out these questions and I'm like, this is going to be terrible. Like, what am I even going to come up with? I did a full-on Google search for Bridgerton tags, you guys, and came up with nothing. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do now? So I just decided to create some silliness. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up before you go, as it really does help support the channel. Make sure you subscribe for more budgeting and planning content from your girl. Go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Cafe with Anna and tag me once again if you choose to do the Bridgerton tag. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.